I'll get inboxes all the time that'll say, I would love to have a ass like that.
Right.
Or I would love to have a waistline like that.
Right.
So where you would think they would probably look at it like, ooh, she keep on showing nothing but booty and stomach.
Right.
They're admiring, and a lot of them would like for their bodies to look like a lot of those people that are on video.
My name is Shad Harrison. I've always loved hearing the stories of how creatives and entrepreneurs got started in their careers. So now, it's my time to tell those stories. This is Interviews with the Rebel. What's going on, people? This is Shad Harris of the Rebel Society, and today we are having another episode of Interviews with the Rebel. The whole reason for this series is to kind of highlight different creatives and entrepreneurs who are doing great things digitally as well as just doing great things in the traditional sense. And today we are highlighting or speaking with Rahsha Batiste, Rahsha Batiste of Unique Skin Beauty Bar, and we're going to talk about a little bit about all that she has going on, how she actually blew up her business, because you've actually blew up.
I have.
So yeah, we're going to definitely talk about all that and just give a couple tips and tricks on how she actually got to where she's at right now. So first things first is my little icebreaker question I ask is, who is a music artist that you feel like you relate to the most?
Ooh, man, that's a good icebreaker.
Yeah, I thought so.
I would probably say Beyonce, and here's the reason why.
Okay.
Most people would probably want to bring up her name, but I like the hustle and drive that she has.
Okay.
You don't even know what she's doing really behind the scene until she just like, pow, she just come out with it.
Okay.
And you're like, oh, that's what she's been working on all the time. She don't even have to like be cocky and speak about it and all that good stuff.
Yeah, when she gets quiet, you know she's working on something.
She's like stewing.
Right.
So that's what I like to do. Even though people see my work, I love to do a lot of different things behind the scene, and you don't even know what I'm bringing to the table next.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
Like I already have equipment that I'm bringing from now to the end of the year, but they don't know what I'm bringing.
Right.
But I know.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It's like a plan in action.
Okay.
Yes.
So, matter of fact, even though I introduced you, can you just introduce yourself, real quick?
So, my name is Rahsha Batiste, owner of Unique Skin and Beauty Bar. I'm a master esthetician for the state of Virginia. And what I typically do around facials, body contouring, you know, it can be assortment of cellulite treatments, reducing the stomach fat, doing butt lift, butts enhancement. So anything that's dealing with the body, that's what I do.
All right. So what is your 60-second origin story?
60 seconds. I would say 25 years of corporate America had me thinking, what can I do for myself? Knowing that I'm very business oriented and I will work hard for a company just as well I will work hard for myself. So going back to school and not knowing that I was going to be an esthetician years later, I would say, you know, it's crazy of where I was 5 years ago and where I am now, just knowing that it was something for me to do, but just not knowing what it was going to be.
Right.
So I really had to like meditate and pray on that thing.
Okay.
Because it was like, I didn't just wish to go to school to be a esthetician. I was just like, Lord, what is my purpose? I'm a strong sign, so I'm a Capricorn. So I always like to control certain things.
Okay.
Just by nature. So I had to like let go, and this thing just started coming, and it would not release itself. And I was like, well, in my 40s, I'm going back to school, and I went for a whole year and a half and committed to it. And I started off small and built my way up to where I am now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what made you decide that this is what you wanted to do?
I had to feel it. You know, I was really praying about what was going to be my purpose. And, you know, different things start coming up regarding the industry of beauty, because I wouldn't have never thought that I would have been in this industry. I have been in real estate, you know. I still hold my real estate license to this day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I have always done other things with the entrepreneur spirit, but I wouldn't have never thought I would be in skincare.
All right, yeah. So one of my favorite questions that I like to ask is, how do you make your money? And when I say that, I mean as far as like, Is it just by, actually working with people, or is it, other different means?
I love the question, how do you make money? And I think I make money, my first answer would be I make money by selling myself and
Okay.
my product.
Okay.
So my day to day, I'm gonna make money in my business by providing a service
Mhm.
and also by selling products that I believe in.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but the first thing, what draws customers to me is they have to be bought by me.
Right.
Because I say what I do is 20% intuition
Mhm.
and 80% skill. My intentions have to be there for that person, and that's
Okay.
20% of that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But is there any like particular, like, do you just make it just by working with people, or do you like sell, waist trainers, or like?
Yeah, so I have different products now. As I have been very fortunate that as have made money into the business, I put it back into the business.
Mhm.
And so I will definitely sell waist trainers. I just got a stock yesterday of thigh trainers, arm trainers.
That's thigh trainers?
Oh, yeah, you better believe that, to make it sweat.
I ain't never heard of that.
So now I have like the thigh wraps, the arm wraps. I have the LED lights for your face. That's going to be used for reducing wrinkles,
Oh,
and
okay.
inflammation in the face. So
I thought you was gonna say make you get a skinnier face or something.
Well, I can do that too. I can do the chin.
Oh,
chin
okay.
area, yeah. So
For everybody out there with the double chins, she got something for you.
I got something for you. I got to take that thing and do some radio frequency. So what happens is LED masks, waist trainers. Because I do teeth whitening, I
Okay.
also sell the charcoal for the teeth.
Mhm.
So I do that too. I just start selling the belly change because I want to put a competition out there for the women, that as they put the chain on their waist, the goal is to make it drop past the belly button, so that way they can shrink their waist in. 'Cause
Okay.
It's all about having the nice hourglass figure.
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
For those that are interested.
Gotcha. Okay. So, how long have you been in business?
I have been in the business now for approximately 2.5 years.
Okay. Okay.
2.5 years.
And from conversations that I've had with you,
Yes.
business has been booming for you.
It has.
So, like, in those first 3 to 6 months, what were some things that you were doing to kind of actually get your name out there or really just market your business?
I really network. At that time, I was still working in corporate America at the bank. So what I ended up doing was going different places, networking events, giving my cards out, telling people what I'm doing, going around to the schools, just anyone that I would pass by, give them a card to let them know about interest. And because I have worked at numerous call centers in the area, I would make sure that I reach out to those people because word of mouth is everything.
Right.
To let them know what I am doing now. And because they know that my work ethics is amazing, so they knew that they can come and I would have that buy-in. They always call it Rahsha's always reinventing herself.
Right, right.
So I'm just like, I don't know if it's really reinventing. It's just not being fearful to do something new. That
Okay.
would be my thing. I'm not
Okay.
fearful.
Gotcha. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. So, the one thing, like, I was, told about you from, multiple people, when I first met you, and I feel like this works on guys, but I don't know if it worked for your clientele.
Okay.
But on your social media, you post a lot of ass. You post a lot of ass.
Okay.
So, like, when I saw that, I'm like, oh, let me scroll, see what's going on over here.
Yeah.
So I know for me as a guy, that made me say, oh, I might want to get my wife to, get a massage, which I have. But was there thought in that? And second part of that is, does that work for women? Do you feel like that has actually allowed you to get more female clientele?
It's so crazy because the people that I have on the videos, I started doing videos maybe a little over a year and a half ago, and it took off like mad.
Right.
So people would rather see a video instead of a still picture of what I'm doing because they want to see the actual process.
Right. All right, so after a brief intermission, we're back. And so back to the original question.
Yes.
Was you posting like those type of videos on your page? Was that
No, go
yeah?
ahead. Go
was
ahead,
that like something that you actually thought thought about before you did it, or was it just something like, you know what, I got this, woman here, let me just do a video of me actually working?
Yeah, I thought about it because what was happening, I'm like, if I just show a still picture, they don't see me work. I wanted people to see what I'm doing to the individual.
Okay.
And then I noticed that the more people would view the different videos, the more appointments would come through.
Okay.
And then other women, believe it or not, like to watch women get worked on, because I'll get inboxes all the time that'll say, I would love to have a ass like that,
Right.
or I would love to have a waistline like that.
Right.
So where you would think they would probably look at it like, ooh, she keep on showing nothing but booty and stomach.
Right.
They're admiring, and a lot of them would like for their bodies to look like a lot of those people that are on videos.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
sometimes people want what they can't have, but
True. I know it's probably a lot of that.
Yeah, but I will definitely give my best effort to give them the best that I can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So those first couple of months,
Yes.
how much? We're gonna talk in this video series. We talk about money as well. So in those first couple of months, how much were you actually bringing in?
Revenue probably monthly. The first couple of months was at least, before I went into it full time, I would probably gross, I would say maybe like 3,000, 3,500.
Okay.
And that would be on a really good month. Just getting into it, the 3 to 6 months. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And like roughly like a estimate, how much were you charging per service on?
I was charging at that time probably between maybe $45 to $65 would be average.
Okay, like an hour? Oh, okay.
Like an hour. And I would always want to not cut it into 30 minutes. I
Right.
would always at least do an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it sounds about good. Okay. So.
And then gradually what I wanted to do for Hampton Roads especially, even though my peers in other states, their prices would be completely different than mine, I knew for Hampton Roads, you got to take it gradually. They had to get used to the type of service that I was providing.
Yeah.
And then have them come and try it and be able to afford it. And then step by step, gradually increase it over time.
Okay. Speaking of Hampton Roads, do you feel like this area was used to the type of work that you were actually doing?
They wasn't used to it. They would see it on social media in other states,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't know that we had it here.
Okay.
And then it was a few people that had businesses similar to mine,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe not provided as many services, if that makes sense.
Right, because a lot of women that I know, it seemed like since I've met you, I've seen a lot of women actually get into this lane. And most of them do like, eyelashes or facials and stuff like that.
Correct.
But they don't really do the whole body contouring thing that you do.
So now it's looking good. They see that it can be a revenue-driven business.
Right.
So it's more people, where it wasn't initially a lot of African American women going to esthetician school. Now we're in there. It's
okay.
like, yeah. So when I went to become an esthetician, the young lady, she was like, wow, I'm so glad to have you here. We don't get too many African American women.
Really?
Seriously, to deal with skincare. Because it wasn't popular, say, over 5-10 years ago. Now that you get to now do skincare and body care, and it's more than just doing a facial.
Right.
Now it's becoming populated.
So is the full body thing, we're gonna switch into more business stuff.
Sure.
But is the full body thing something new, or is that something that's been around in your industry for a while?
It's been around in the industry for a while, and especially overseas, and especially in places like California, Florida, New York,
Miami.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now people are starting to see it a little bit more. So now the population over the last year, people want to get more into it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
For many reasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for people that want to be, to do the same thing you do pretty much.
Sure.
What do you feel like is the blueprint for success for an esthetician?
I would say, first of all, they would need to be a subject matter expert in their skills. when
I
we
like
go,
to use that.
when we
Yeah.
go to these schools, they're only going to teach us really how to pass state board.
Okay.
So after school, once they get their certificates with the state of Virginia, then they need to go take workshops and really thoroughly learn and understand everything about the skin and the body.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't do that.
Right.
So educate themselves. Have what they want to do, whether they want to do a sole proprietor, whether they want to do an LLC,
Okay.
what type of business would they like to build?
Okay.
Would they actually like to go work for themselves or work for someone else?
Okay.
Yeah, and and believe it or not to sidetrack, soon as I finished school, I went over to Ulta for 3 months, only because my school wanted me to.
Okay.
And I went and worked there for 3 months. They wanted me to do 6, but I did 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
and immediately went into business for myself. People would typically, for the norm, say, no, you don't do that. I need
Right.
you to have more experience. But I knew what I was bringing to the table. I knew what I could do if I jumped into the industry.
Okay.
You get me? So
And Ulta is the makeup place, right?
yes.
Okay, gotcha.
But they do have estheticians now in the stores.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you can do waxing and makeup and facials. And another thing, so subject matter expert, knowing what type of business that you want to be, sole proprietor or LLC.
Mm-hmm.
My third thing is build your revenue up so that way the things that you need to buy, you're able to afford. So once they start
Break that
seeing
down a little
clients-
bit.
So
Yeah.
breaking that down would be once they start seeing clients, what they would need to be able to do is whatever they're putting into the business
Mm-hmm.
and they're getting paid for from a client,
Mm-hmm.
put it right back into that business. Don't just like.
How do you live off that though?
So what I did to be strategic, I knew that building this business, I would need to work that full-time job for at least a year and a half
Mm-hmm.
before I went into this thing full-time.
Okay.
That was my strategic thing, and stack enough revenue
Mm-hmm.
that I knew that if business was slow,
That you still have some
I
money
would
in the
still
bank.
have some on the side.
Okay. So I feel like a lot of people mess up that way. Well, not that way, but
Mm-hmm.
they will have a job, have their side hustle, and that's really the perfect time when you're supposed to kind of like funnel that money from your side job to actually into your business.
Yes.
A lot of people will say, you know what, I just got some extra money, so I'm gonna trick off, I'm gonna spend it, I'm gonna do whatever, I'm gonna go out to eat more, or
Correct.
I'm gonna buy more shoes, or whatever the case is.
Correct.
But a lot of people don't actually invest the money that they have coming in from their, bi-monthly or bi-weekly paycheck and actually put that back into their business.
Absolutely.
So
And that's where they make the mistake.
that's definitely the mistake.
Yes. So it was times in that year and a half, I worked 7 days a week. I would do 40 hours in corporate America
Mhm.
and come here in the morning before I went to work, come here in the afternoon, work Saturday and Sundays, whatever I need to do
Mhm.
to make sure that grind was on. And whatever I made revenue wise from any client, I made sure I bought equipment. I made sure I bought products. I
Mhm.
did all of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, back to a couple of our conversations that we've had.
Sure.
You're very big into goal setting.
I am.
So, where did that mentality come from?
So in 25 years of corporate America, I actually was an AVP in collections, assistant vice president, where I had to do reports and
Mhm.
P&Ls and do daily goals and
Mhm.
quarterly goals and all that good stuff. So what I have taken out of corporate America is bringing it into my business.
Okay.
So daily, like I text my assistant this morning, I was like, hey, we hit our regular goal.
Mm-hmm.
We're so near our stretch goal.
Mhm.
So I need to have X amount of dollars by the time Rashad come here.
Right.
And I was like, book the appointments, call customers back, do what you got to do.
Okay.
Because we need that in the bank today. And then she was like, whoa, I feel like I'm back in collecting. I was like, it's the end of the month push. And that's how I look at it, because really and truly, for me to strive towards anything, I need to have something daily, I need to have something weekly, I need to have something monthly. And that's how I'm generating. I even look at how many clients I have,
Mhm.
how many new clients came into the business, what's the revenue for each particular procedure.
Okay.
I mean, I break that mess down.
Okay. So, I'm very fascinated by this.
Okay.
So, how do you I want to go deep into this.
Okay.
How do you actually look at that? So do you say you're in the 3rd week of the month and say, you know what, I haven't reached my goal yet. What type of push are you putting in? Are you saying like, a lot of people say, I'm going to just do a sale real quick to kind of get money. But I realize with you, I might be wrong, but I feel like you don't really do sales.
I don't.
Right. So how do you say, you know what, for my last week, I'm going to make sure that I get my money? So what do you do to kind of ensure that?
So what do I do very strategically? I extend my hours.
Okay.
Okay. So if on my calendar I'm working that day from 10 to 4. I will call my assistant. I say, you know what? I'm going to start at 8. Book me a client from 8 to 9, right? And I say, you know what? I'm going to actually that night. So total, I need 2 in the morning. I need 2 in the afternoon. So if I went from 8-hour workday, I would go to a 12, 14-hour workday to make it happen.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so then in between, it's a few procedures that I can do. I can have a client in one room and I can assist another one in another room. So if I have to double book and it makes sense, then I would do that as well.
Okay.
So I just work smarter. And then I start having her start contacting clients for the next month when I do have availability, so she can go ahead and start booking, because you have to be able to pay a deposit or full payment to book with me anyway.
Okay.
So that's revenue into the same month.
Okay. So speaking of that last thing you just said, when people aren't reaching out to you, how can you kind of ensure that? 'Cause I know a lot of people will run into that problem where they might have a clientele, but most people will wait for their clients to actually reach out to them.
Correct. So I keep a thread. My DM, because of my 24-hour, I'm always keeping my audience engaged.
Okay. And when you say your 24-hour, what do you mean by that?
24-hour Instagram. So
like Instagram stories?
Yeah, my Instagram stories.
Gotcha.
So I'm always constantly recording of what my day looks like. So at the end of the day, I'm going to have minimum of at least 6 to 8 people saying, hey, you have anything for tomorrow? Hey, you have, because I have always latecomers.
Right.
I can always say, hey, book ahead of time.
But, people do things at the last minute. So
it doesn't happen.
Yeah, never.
So I still have my little spoiled babies that, hey, so I'm always going to be able to give my assistant 2 to 3 people a day if I want to reach that stretch goal, so that way I just extend my hours. Now, if I ever, like in the beginning when I used to run into that problem and I didn't have a lot, I would probably then start making a couple of phone calls, or I would probably, my product line, I would probably do a combination, not really do a sale per se, but say, hey, I got this going on and here's the dollar amount. You want to book, if you book within the next 24 to 48 hours, you can get this deal.
Okay.
Because people love deals.
You're right about that. You're right about that.
So even if on social media it looks like a deal, on my end,
it's really not a deal.
I know that it has strategically been put together correctly, that I'm still getting what I would normally charge, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
But then I put urgency on the service.
So you have to book it right now to be able to get
24 to 48 hours.
this discount.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you said that, you call people, stuff like that. So I'm trying to give as much value to the people that listen as possible. So when you're actually calling people, what exactly are you saying for something like that?
So typically my assistant, I really don't, people are more into text messages. They
Right.
don't even like to really talk. So
True. When people call me, I'm like, yo, don't call me.
So what she ended up doing, she will send out a mass text, hey, haven't seen you in a while. Would you like to book within the next week or so? We might have some combination deals that's going on. So just to have, it's almost like, let me put out that carrot and let me see if it's going to get big.
Yeah.
And then more than likely she'll receive a couple of text messages back. Yes, I've been wanting to see Rahsha. Please book me. She will address herself. This is Irina, Rahsha's assistant.
Gotcha.
Blah blah blah. Let them know and send a mass text out. And then we're going to get at least about 10 to 20 responses.
Really?
Out of the 550 people that we have on the list.
Okay. So you keep saying stuff that made me ask more questions.
No, that's okay.
So
it's all right.
So it sounds like you've actually built like a database for your clients.
Yes, I have.
Because you know exactly the number of how many people
I'm
you
a
have.
numbers person.
How important do you feel that is?
It is so important because I have a goal for myself. In my database, first year I was like, you know what, Rahsha, I would like to, let's make the goal of getting 100 clients, right?
Okay.
The second year, I want to make the goal. So that's why each month when I'm creating my goal, it is very important for me to have a certain amount of new clients coming in to add to my database.
All right.
And I want them to be
Another
realistic.
question just popped up.
I know, that's
Continue.
okay.
Yeah.
Because I want them to be realistic clients. I don't want them to be made up that have never came to see me.
Right.
All of these clients that's in my database now, you have at least came to see me once.
Okay.
Minimum.
Okay. All right. So how are you in? I feel like I'm just bombarding you with questions,
you're fine.
but I mean that's the whole
Yeah,
purpose of what we're doing.
They need to know.
So how are you kind of not setting up, but how are you ensuring that you're getting those new clients coming in?
So what I do every now and then, I will let my assistant know. I'll tell her to block off maybe an hour 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay.
Because I also love to see women that has just had surgery, meaning 360 lipos, the real BBLs from Miami or from around here.
Shout out Dr. Miami.
Go, absolutely. And so what happens is those people need to see me immediately.
Okay.
So I at least have 3 blocked out times during the week for emergencies, and my new clients are coming then.
Okay.
And just being strategic with it. And if I need to come in on my off, like this is the first year that I ever took off one day, and that's on Sundays. And believe it or not, you see me doing training on Sundays too.
Right.
So sometimes I'm off, sometimes I'm not. But if I need to see a new client on a Sunday, I will come right up in here.
Okay.
And that's dedication.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how big has social media been to actually getting you those new clients or getting you that visibility?
Amazing.
Really?
I mean, it's just been the performance of it. Like I always tell people, if my peer, so say Nikwa, she has like say 15K followers, and say I have 5K. When it comes down to it, my 5K is so hardcore that they are following me. They're referring. They're doing all that they're supposed to do.
Right.
It has been like huge. Probably 60% of my business come off of social media.
Okay.
60%.
So what do you feel like the other 40% comes from? I thought you was going to say maybe like a cool 80%.
Okay, so the other percent is coming from me living in Hampton Roads 25 years and building the
word of mouth for poor people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's going to be the other 40.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Another question that I have is, everybody say, you got to spend money to make money.
Yes.
So what do you feel like is, a thing that you spent money on that has generated the most revenue?
So a client was telling me today, she was like, Rahsha, I have been to many different people that do the same thing that you do. And she said, why you stand out the most is because you don't mind spending money to making us look better.
Right.
It's almost like if you see something with quality, you're going to go out there and purchase. I'm very strategic. I got to study the machine for a while. I'm really, I have the company send me the manual so I can see what's going on with the equipment.
Right.
And so in my industry, I really have to put money back into it. Because it's going to always be things to shrink your stomach, to reduce the cellulite, chemical peels for the face. So I legitimately always put it in. So I have a monthly budget of how I can spend, just like this month, because I exceeded my goal, right, over the regular goal, because I exceeded that stretch goal. I have that extra revenue to play with that I didn't even account for. So those funds right there go into new things that I can actually purchase.
Okay. So you mentioned, that makes all the sense in the world. Okay. You just mentioned that you have a monthly goal.
Yes.
What is this monthly goal?
So monthly goals for me is I look at the revenue that I made a year ago. I'm always going to beat out my number from a year prior. That is big.
Right.
It used to be big for me in collections and big for me to this day.
Okay.
I got to beat the year goal from last year, and I have to beat out what I did last month.
Okay.
Okay, so from there, I will add, like, say, for example, if my goal is 10K,
Mm-hmm.
right? And what I'll do is I'll say, talk with my assistant and say, okay, our goal this month is $10,000.
Okay.
But the stretch goal is going to be, say, 13,500. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what I have added.
And for the people that
Okay.
didn't work collections or anything,
Yes.
what is the stretch goal?
Okay, so stretch goal is anything in addition to your regular goal.
Okay.
So anything outside of that $10,000 is
Okay.
a stretch goal. So with that, I know that if I hit that extra 3,500,
Mm-hmm.
that's play money. I get
Okay.
to do whatever I want to do with that money. So that goes into my fund for equipment and new things that I want to buy for this facility.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So, like I said, once again, for the people who are, want to be in this industry,
Mhm.
what ways are there for people to actually make money as a esthetician?
So what they have to do is really find out what specialty they want to go into.
What's your
I
specialty?
don't do waxing. So my specialty is body contouring and facials.
Okay.
So if they want to make money, I mean, waxing is a big thing now.
I just heard the term sugaring.
Sugaring is the best. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Instead of hard wax. Oh, you know about sugaring? Okay.
I went to a conference and the lady there
okay.
did it. So.
And I love the sugar wax. We need more people in this area to do sugaring. So you have the facials. You have the lash lifts that people do. Yeah, they can extend your lashes. Yeah, your own natural lashes at that, right?
Okay.
So then you have the brow bars, so that way they can not only wax but color in your only brows and do the ombre and the 3D. It's so many things.
That sounds like a lot.
But you know what's so crazy? The great thing about the esthetician field, it is like so broad.
Right.
And think about, I also tap into like when people come to me for post-ops and I'm doing their lymphatic massages so that way they're not holding fluid, right?
Mm-hmm.
That can be a service business
by
itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So somebody can do that full time and kill it.
Okay. So is there, from your experience with you actually doing it, you're living it day in and day out, is there like a lane, especially in this area, that you feel nobody has really made their name at, or like it's a wide open lane for it right now?
I would like to see more microbladers.
Okay.
Yeah. We need to have and not
I'm saying okay, like I know what that is, but yeah. Well, okay. I can see that.
When they get the eyebrows tattooed, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Right, and stroked. But
why would anybody do that?
Well, when it goes thin, people want to fill in those hairs a little bit and make it look like, and they don't have to really do too much to it. So I mean, it's an industry, but we need more good microbladers. Okay, that's what we need around this area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So before we wrap up this conversation, what is the key for your business as far as, and this is definitely something specific for the people who want to do this, so like, what do you feel is like your key to success right now?
My key to success really is customer service. I would tell anybody, even my 11-year-old, if you ask her the same question, she come in here, she was like, my mom would say customer service is everything. I think because a lot of generations that tapped right into being self-employed and never worked in corporate America and really learned to have couth and how to treat
Gotta
people.
have that couth.
Gotta have couth. And never learned how to treat people. They don't know the lingo. Like, no matter who comes in here, I can meet the ones that up here, on the higher grade. I can meet the ones that's down here on the higher grade.
Right.
People need that connection. You get what I'm saying? So customer service, treating them like you want their business and not treating them just the first time they come in and then treat them bad the second time like they really don't matter because they're already in there. It's legitimately, people want to spend money where they're welcome. And that's why I get the rate on return on everything, because I don't even worry about, I don't care if it is estheticians down this block for 2 miles close to me, right? So you can't take my people, because at the end of the day, they coming back to me because of what I bring to the table.
Right.
I respect them. They know my intentions are good, and my customer service is going to spin circles around anybody.
Okay. So before, I don't think we actually mentioned it during this conversation,
Okay.
But this is probably my last question. You mentioned that hustle is a big thing. So which is weighted more, hustle or customer service?
They like 50-50, man. They really are. But I would still put customer service up first.
Okay.
My hustle and my drive, that's just a natural thing.
Okay.
Even the people in the audience, I can show people on my social media how to do cellulite. People can train themselves off my video,
Mhm.
but if they don't have that hustle to do it, they're not going to do it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Because if people really look at my videos, you can probably like almost train yourself.
True.
But at the end of the day, because a lot of people are not going to have the same hustle and the same skill set
Mhm.
towards it, I don't have to worry about you taking my business.
You right about that?
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I tell you, customer service, hustle.
So you said 50-50?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So before we get out here, what's the next big move for you?
Next big move is I'm going to be eventually looking in the next year for commercial property.
Okay.
I don't want to rent. I want to own it. Okay.
Okay.
In my first year full time, I was able to hit that 6-figure goal.
Mhm.
In the next 3 years, I have $1 million goal. So those are going to be the big thing: growing business, hiring employees, do more training for people to know what I do and do it the correct way.
So do you want like a full, like almost like a salon style?
I want to do like full spa.
Okay.
Full spa, but no hair.
Okay.
Full spa where I have my own eyelash techs and microblading and different rooms for body contouring, teeth whitening services.
Mhm.
But I want to be able to train everyone exactly how it needs to be done
Right.
within the facility, and then just pretty much manage it and still see my VIP people that are currently my folks.
Okay. Okay. All right. And where can people find you at?
People can find me. You can look for me on Instagram, which is Unique Skin and Beauty Bar. I also
Where you'll see a whole bunch of thighs and butts and and smooth stomachs and everything.
I need to put on there how many males versus females.
You
are
got to
on
see
my
that. Yeah.
Instagram. I need to.
I would love to see what those
Okay,
numbers
okay,
look
yeah,
like.
I need to look at those
Yeah.
numbers. My location is at 3707 Virginia Beach Boulevard, Suite 210. I am upstairs from Twisted Fitness, right across the street from Burlington, on the boulevard. It's like at the corner of Virginia Beach Boulevard and Rosemont, so I'm pretty easy to find. But please come see me. Look for me online. You won't be disappointed by coming into the shop. It's always something new, every day, every week, every month.